to present a picture that is different from the picture that you would have gotten if you followed the trend that is a long-term trend. So these are borrowed examples, and I wanted to share another example with you. And this one is kind of made up in the sense that I don't remember the exact numbers. But I want to show you something that I saw when I walked into a school where my children received their education. And kind of close to the entrance, there was a display case where the school showed we, okay, so I just put we, I don't want to use the exact school name. So we test our children, and let's say our reading scores were at an 87% proficiency, while the country average is only at 83%. And this is how the chart was presented. I wonder if you can see what is going on here. If you look at the bars, your first impression is, wow, this school is so much stronger than everyone else. Now, to put this into perspective, I added a really bad school that gets a 0. So now my graph building software built a different chart. And if you look at it, you will see that 87 is still better than 82, except the difference is not as dramatic as here. Okay. So what's a person to do? Well, first of all, we can learn the basics of statistics. I'm not talking about becoming a statistician, but at least learning the difference between a median and a mean. That's not something that's beyond your ability. Everybody is capable of doing that. Most of all, people need to be careful and ask questions. For example, looking at sources. If none are given, do not trust that information. If somebody shares a link and there is no name of the author, there is no name of the organization that's responsible for this information, just close it. I wouldn't trust something like that. If a person doesn't care enough to put his or her name on their information, that person is not trustworthy. Okay. Another thing you can do is to check for obvious sources of bias in the data. For example, if you are only asking one person, or if you're asking a question that is manipulated in a way, have you been killed by a bad product? So then obviously if you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get the right answers. You're not going to get the correct answers. So check if the information was collected in a proper way. We can look at the data axis and legend. We can try to add the elements of a pie chart and see that it's 193%, which is a clear sign that the people who put it together shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Finally, don't believe things just because it's science or data. You need to figure out the source, whether or not they have any shady motives to manipulate your opinion, and you need to be intelligent about things. So ask the right questions if you want the right answers. Check the sources of information, check people's reputation, check whether or not those who are sharing some kind of information with you are actually specialists in their field, or are they somebody who just happen to have a very strong opinion. And strong opinions based on nothing are not worth very much. Let me reword it. They're not worth anything. They're just garbage. So opinion that is informed by knowledge and practice in the field is valuable. Opinion that's not based on anything, but it's its own opinion, it's not really valuable. So here are some links in case you want to see more of the examples that I shared with you today. And for your discussion post, please find examples of unethical manipulation of statistical information and make the discussion post. That's it.